So I just start with saying that I'm Alex, happily married, +1 cat. And our journey of me and my partner, there, Ophir, started when Ophir's son, Adam, was diagnosed with autism. So I don't know how many people here know what autism is? Okay, pretty a lot. How many people here personally know someone that is affected by this? Okay, also a lot. So it's not surprising. Actually, autism or ASD, Autism Spectrum Disorder, which is a spectrum, is influencing 1 in every 45 children in the US, according to a recent survey, which is pretty a lot. Part of it because of improved diagnosis methods. Part of it is not explained by it. And it increased since 2004, like quadrupled. So it's a worrying phenomenon. For those of you who don't know autism very well, I will explain what is characterized by usually. So sensory sensitivity, for example. Okay, this unpleasant feeling that accompanies with this sound is something that an autistic child might experience throughout the day. Something additional is social challenges. Children with autism many times have the trouble of doing what I'm doing now, looking people in the eyes and making conversation and being expected to answer or reply. And a third thing is we call it action disruption. It's transferring a thought into action. Sometimes it doesn't happen correctly. When I want to say something and I say something else, or I want to do something and I do something different. And there are other challenges that characterize this disorder, but these are major ones that we are addressing. So how do we develop a product for this kind of population? One thing has to be clear and simple. No complex gestures, no a lot of details or noises. These kind of things can disturb the children. Another thing, you have to deal with the social barriers that are associated with normal human interaction. And you have to give them sometimes their time because sometimes they need their time to decide what is the correct reply that best represents what they think or feel. So we fused all these considerations and we created a new product, which we launched recently. So this product has 2 faces. It has a face for the adult user, for a parent or a therapist, and it has an very different interface for a child. For an adult, for example, this is similar to a communication, to a regular communication product like WhatsApp, like Messenger, like many others that you use. But for the child, it's very, very different. It's much cleaner, much simpler, and it features a few important things. So first, you get the message from the adult or the therapist, and you have an option to hear it out loud. And after that, there is a lovely character that reads out all the reply possibilities. So that means that once the adult chose what they want to say to the child, they also help them with assembling the possible replies, sort of a multiple choice question. So this is the basic step, and from that we move on. Then the child can create their own sentences or expressions or write their own messages, but we start from the basis, which is important, and that way it addresses bigger audience, more children that can use it. And you might have noticed that my presentation is accompanied by a sock. Why is that? We consider an avatar that represents, that helps mediate the communication is something that is very important. We see it with robots. We see many success stories of parents communicating with their children using their characters, using lovely characters. Especially with autism, this is sometimes these children use this kind of tools to communicate. But more than that, Soki, our character, is symbolically represents any other thing, any other character or avatar that's best suited for a specific child, and can take, in the future, will be able to take many different forms. So that's about the product. I will tell you more about the technology that we use behind the product. So Soki is an intelligent avatar. It's able not only to deliver messages from the adults, it's able also to create new dialogues that the therapist or the parent can activate for him and can pick. So one of the things that we're using this tool to measure in order to help parents and therapists to understand the progress of the child and induce progress is we're measuring a lot of things that we measure the essence of the communication. There are things that are quantitative, there are things that are qualitative, but we try also to analyze the content of the conversation in order to make profound insights. So one of the things, I give a few examples that we're measuring is initiation. It's sort of the ratio between how much the parent initiates a conversation and the child initiates the conversations, and we try to improve that, and we try to, the blue line is when it's equal, and we see that with time, children are, at first they're more passive, and then they start being more active, and they start initiating communication, which is a very important KPI for us. Also something that we see is promptness. This is whether they reply immediately or it takes them some time. For example, they leave the app and then they come back to it after some time. Okay, sorry. So these are weeks. This is a timeline, and this is okay, the measurement. So here, one represents immediate reply. That means I send the message, I decided when I want to reply, and I reply. And higher values, that means that I got out of the product and I got out of the app and then return later on to reply. So this is something that you also see that characterize specifically children that are affected by autism, that sometimes they need their time to evaluate their reply and go back to the product and then send the message. Another measure is deliberation. That means how decisive they are when they're making the reply. We see that children affected by autism, they need sometimes 4 to 5 times to change their reply, something that we usually don't get when we write messages and communicate with others. We just speak and that's out. So here we give them the chance to change their reply. And it's very, very important, as we see, because it happens a lot. So besides that, for example, we measure how much pronouns they use compared to verbs or nouns. We compare, it's sort of a measure for their differentiation between different beings, which is a development step in every child. And so that is basically it. We're building a platform that allows therapists to create their own sessions, and then other therapists or parents will be able to use them. Something that we really value the community. For example, parents can create their own symbols or illustrations, and then they can choose to make them public. And after review, they're published, and the others can use them. I will. Sorry?
You have to tell the story how it started.
Yeah, so I said at the beginning that Ophir started this journey because his son was affected by autism from early age, and he felt personally that he must have a solution for communication because existing solutions were very overwhelming and not well suited for autistic children. I won't elaborate a lot, but I really love this team, so I like showing this slide. Are very great people. We have we're professional advisors. We have very good designers and programmers, and we're doing our best to create value for this audience.
You're doing good for society.
We try. Thank you. One last thing I would like to ask from you is that help us spread the love. The app is free now on both Android and iOS. We would love to see more children use it, therapists, parents, investors that want to get involved. We're also doing that. So just contact us. That's me. Thank you very much.